yesterday morning, out of nowhere, Nintendo announced brand new hardware, and it's not the Switch 2. It's an alarm clock that
Yep.
comes with 6 preset themes. It has sort of like a radio motion tracking to your bed. It can tell when you're waking up.
Yep.
And it will start to play noises based on the theme that you choose. And the longer you push snooze on it, the angrier Bowser or presumably other characters will get.
Yes.
And we just had to talk about this today. So, Seth, we didn't know about this thing yesterday morning. Now we do know about it, and it is in your hands already.
Yeah.
And for the first time in the history of your life, you'll be reviewing an alarm clock for IGN.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a dream. That's why I went to alarm clock journalism in the first place, was hoping that Nintendo would someday create
a really
one.
competitive
But I mean, yeah, it is a very competitive field. There's 3 of us. But so far, like I love the build of it. I really like the interface. I'll have all this to say in my review. It's very cute. It apparently doesn't work if you have 2 people sleeping in your bed, and I've been married for well over 20 years now, so I guess my wife's gonna have to get used to the couch because I'm a professional alarm clock journalist. But one thing I really like about it is it's red, it's white. A lot of parallels between this and Santa Claus. It knows when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good. So just be good, for goodness sake. But yeah, there are other creatures. I don't want there's mild spoilers for Alarmo.
Oh my!
But I know at least there is a chain chomp, and he will yell at you. But the more you move around, the smaller he gets, and he'll disappear. So yeah, looking forward to sleeping with my favorite Nintendo characters next to my bed tonight. Just watching.
I've said this forever on this show. One of the most wonderful things about being a Nintendo fan, covering Nintendo, just enjoying their stuff in general, is that you never really know what to expect. This is a 100-plus-year-old toy company that will out of nowhere be like, "Hey, guess what? We're making a cardboard piano," or "Hey, guess what? There's a finger pulse tracking device that never comes out," or whatever. They got into quality of life stuff here and there with Ring Fit and Wii Fit and stuff like that, and they've been talking about stuff like this for a very long time. And every now and then, one of them stumbles out the door. And in this case, I genuinely was not expecting an alarm clock. This thing is $100. It's already sold out at the Nintendo World Store. It will be available in regular stores in January. Right now, if you are a My Nintendo member, and you go on their My Nintendo store, you can order one if that's a thing that you want to do. I sort of just want one as a desk clock, because I just like the idea of having like a little Breath of the Wild link. It got me thinking about like their weird histories with clocks. Like the Game & Watch was one of the first things that like literally watch is in the title. When they re-released the Game & Watch a few years ago, the Mario ones and the Zelda ones, it had animated sort of clock interfaces with alarms built into them. Logan, you put up a great piece yesterday, sort of deep diving into the history of this thing. If you want to speak on that real quick.
Yeah, it's cool. So right when I see this thing, the first thing I think is, whoa, Iwata told us about this thing 10 years ago when he was still with us and still the president of Nintendo. And that was when they announced their quality of life initiative. And then in 2014, they said that the first device that they were going to make was a non-wearable sleep tracker designed to be placed on your bedside table, and that is Alarmo. It took 10 years. This clock was apparently in development hell for the last decade. It was indefinitely shelved at one point by the president that succeeded Iwata, Tatsumi Kimishima, and then when they announced Pokemon Sleep, they quietly tease, oh, by the way, we're still working on our thing. We haven't talked about it in like 4 years, but we're still working on it. And then there was a patent that serviced of Mario stretching, getting out of bed, and the clock telling him how good the quality of his sleep was. And fast forward to now, here we are, Alarmo, and we were just talking about this before the show. It's just, they're a hilarious company to cover. We didn't know about this thing 36 hours ago, and now it is in Seth's hand, and we're talking about it. And he just said, spoilers for Alarmo, which might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard on this show. It's unbelievable. I love it so much. Like, Nintendo does the weirdest things. I think there's some people out there that think, oh, Nintendo's not as weird as they used to be. Brian, you said it. They sold us cardboard this generation. They're selling an alarm clock. There is Nintendo as ever, and I love it.
No, IGN has a video of John Carpenter Yeah, that one. Playing the Halloween theme song on a Nintendo Labo
Mhm.
piano, and he's just like, "What a piece of junk!" It's great. It's awesome. Just so one of the things I swear we won't talk about Alarm on this whole show, but I do want to say real quick. I have seen a lot of people pointing out that this could sort of subconsciously, no pun intended, or consciously, I guess. Trick your brain into disliking a lot of the iconic Nintendo sounds because you will be waking up to Mario coins and Link saying
Well,
"Kia" and all the other stuff. So, what are your thoughts on that, everyone?
I mean, I think that's why you just pick one that you don't like to begin with, like Breath of the Wild. It's a bad game, so I
What?
my sounds to that
What?
one. I'm kidding. I'm
damn,
kidding. Breath
podcast
of the Wild.
over.
Breath of the Wild is a great game. I've said this many times.
Yes,
Just not
I
my cup
know.
of tea. But no, I don't know. I don't think it could. I don't think anything could make me hate the sound of Pikmin and Olimar just plucking Pikmin and tossing them. I love
Wake up to that for the next
Pikmin.
5 years and then tell me
Yeah.
how you feel. I
Yeah,
would legitimately like to
we'll
know.
see.